Episode number 915, 5 more important things for great networking.
You're listening to the official BNI podcast with BNI founder and Chief Visionary Officer, Dr. Ivan Meisner. Stay tuned for networking and referral marketing tips from the man who's been called the father of modern networking, along with suggestions and insights into getting the most from your membership in the world's largest networking organization, BNI.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the official BNI podcast. I'm Priscilla Rice, and I'm coming to you from Live Oak Recording Studio in Berkeley, California, and I'm joined on the phone today by the founder and the Chief Visionary Officer of BNI, Dr. Ivan Meisner. Hello, Ivan. How are you, and where are you?
Hey, Priscilla. Okay, so where am I?
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm on vacation this week. We were at the BNI conference last week in France, and my wife and I are taking a week off here in France to enjoy this beautiful country.
That's great. You're going to drink some wine, I bet.
Oh yes, wine will be involved. It always is involved, especially in France.
Yeah, I bet. Will you let us know how it goes?
Of course.
Future podcast?
Absolutely.
Okay, sounds good.
So this week we have 5 more things to learn to be great at networking. Last week, go back to the podcast. If you didn't listen to last week's, listen to last week and then come back to this one. The first 5 were the VCP process: visibility, credibility, profitability. I know I cover that a lot, but I talk about a couple of slightly different things in that podcast. The number 2 is be interested more than interesting. 3 is give without keeping score. 4 is articulate your why clearly, and 5 is follow up or fall flat. So that's what I talked about last week, and I had podcast episodes with all of them, and I will do the same this week. So this week, 5 more things to be really great at networking are these. 6, nurture strategic power teams. Great networkers know that not all connections are created equal. Learn how to use your contact spheres to create power teams. And if you don't understand the difference, some of the links that I'm going to give here will explain the difference between a contact sphere and a power team. It's like concentric circles. A power team is part of a contact sphere. So power teams are clusters of complementary professionals who serve the same audience, but they don't compete. When one wins, the others can too. Power teams supercharge your networking. Instead of waiting passively for referrals, you actively create an ecosystem of mutual benefit. So the more you understand your partner's businesses, the better you can refer them and the more they'll want to refer you. Invest time getting to know these people really well because they're in compatible, non-competitive professions. Here I have 5 episodes that I'm going to recommend to you. One is episode 775, Powering Up Power Teams. The next is episode 698, and these links are all in the transcript. Episode 698, Referral Flow in Power Teams. Episode 549, Boost Referrals in Power Teams. Episode 272, Power Teams and Contact Spheres. That's the one that talks about the difference. There is a difference, but they are related. And episode 237, it goes way back. That one I think goes back to 2012. Episode 237, Boost Your Referrals with Power Teams. So there are 5 different episodes I recommend on the topic of nurturing your strategic power teams. Number 7 is be referable. Always be referable. This isn't just about doing a good job. It's about being the kind of professional others are proud to refer. That means integrity, excellence, responsiveness, and follow through. Your brand is not what you say about yourself. It's about what your network whispers when you're not in the room. That's the most powerful piece. That's what your brand is. Being referable includes your attitude, your online presence, how you handle feedback, and even how you dress. If someone introduces you and you drop the ball, it reflects on them. So people will only refer you when they feel safe doing so. So make it safe. be that person. I have 3 episodes I'm going to recommend here. The first is episode 649, and that's kind of about how you show up in a networking situation. It's the 12 by 12 by 12 rule. The next is episode 632, maximizing your professional image. And then episode 577, I wasn't referable. Love that podcast. And it was by a director of ours who admits that at one point she was absolutely not referable for a number of reasons, and then became very referable and ended up becoming the executive director of her region. So it's a great podcast. Okay, number 8, read body language and social cues. Networking is partly science, partly art. Learn to read the room, not just the words. Is someone disinterested? Do they want to go deeper? Body language speaks volumes. Tune in and you'll connect in richer ways. Look for signs of engagement, nodding, leaning in, eye contact, and disengagement, crossed arms, looking at the door, distracted glances. That's a big one. Distracted glances. On Zoom, it's the tone of voice, the facial expressions, and responsiveness or non-responsiveness. So adjust your energy to match theirs or respectfully give space when needed. Social intelligence or emotional intelligence is underrated and incredibly invaluable. I don't have a podcast on this one, but I'm considering inviting somebody in who's an expert on body language and social cues, and we may add a podcast in the future. Number 9, tell sticky stories. Here's what I mean by that. Facts tell, stories sell. Master the art of sharing brief, memorable stories that highlight your value or your impact. Stories make you relatable. They make you credible and unforgettable. It's a rare trifecta in networking. So use a simple structure, a challenge, your solution, the result. Stories don't need to be epic, just real. Think of a time you helped a client or overcame a hurdle or made somebody's day. These stories become anchors in people's memories. I'm going to repeat that. These stories become anchors in people's memories, and they make them more likely to refer you when the moment arises. So this is why just giving facts about your product or service is not nearly as powerful as telling a story, a sticky story, something true, something at least a little bit compelling. So I have a couple of podcasts on this. One goes way back. It's episode number 252, Storytelling in Business. Storytelling in Business. And episode 693, Giver's Gain in Storytelling. Those are 2 great podcasts on storytelling. And then the last is to be consistently present online and offline. You can't network from the guidelines, show up in person, even if it's on Zoom, you show up online, share your content, comment meaningfully, attend events, be visible consistently, not just when you need something. Your network rewards the reliable. Reliability and visibility is what establishes credibility. Don't be the person who disappears until business is slow. Make networking a discipline, not a reaction. Even a weekly rhythm, one event, one follow-up, one post builds momentum. People refer people who they know, like, and trust. And that starts by seeing them regularly. So stay top of mind and you'll stay top of the list. Here's my final thought on the second 5. You don't become great at networking by knowing 10,000 people. You become great by helping 100 people know each other and trusting that goodwill will cycle back. Remember that in networking, the best way to stand out is to help others in a structured, positive, and professional process. Any thoughts?
Oh, I like all of it. I especially like the sticky stories. I
Yeah.
know I remember some stories that you told, and You always tell these wonderful stories, and it's fun. It's interesting and fun, and it makes you laugh, and it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the secret to storytelling is to give good information, to wrap it in some kind of emotion. You want to compel somebody to take action when they hear the story. You want them to go, "Yeah, I need to do that. I
Mhm.
really need to do that, or I need to be better at that." And when that happens, then it transforms their life in some way.
Right.
And that's really the formula for a great story in my mind. And it becomes sticky when you're tugging on the emotions, either humor or the heartstrings, and it's very personal.
Mhm.
People remember that, and they'll remember the message that you're giving along with that.
Yeah.
Well, that's everything I have for today, Priscilla, unless you have any other question.
No, I think it was a very good podcast. Thank you so much, Dr.
My pleasure.
Meisner.
So everybody listening to the podcast, I just gave you 10, 5 last week, 5 this week. I'd love to hear your comments and particularly how you used any one of these items to help you succeed in BNI. Thanks,
Mhm.
Priscilla. Back to you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. This podcast is sponsored by MeisnerAudioprograms.com, and these audio programs will provide you with the tools and the inspiration to powerfully enhance your BNI experience. So go check out the great material that's available to you at MeisnerAudioprograms.com and use the promo code IVAN50 for 50% off of everything. All of the proceeds go to the BNI Foundation. Thanks so much for listening. This is Priscilla Rice, and we look forward to having you join us again next week for another exciting episode of the official BNI podcast.